What is up, everybody? We are live for today's Anfield agenda, late night agenda. That's not so late now. You're saying to yourself, hang on, why is it just Craig and Chris? Don't worry, we've got another man coming. He's joining us soon, but he's running a little bit late. Until then, Chris, it is just you and I, sir.
Just you and me, mate. And the dream team, but we're going to be added to. It's a bit like Liverpool in the transfer window, right?
Except that we will be added to. That's
yeah, we will be.
That
there won't be anything in this window. But no, how are you, mate? Are you good? Are you good, mate?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Oh, I'm sound. I'm finished my final uni deadline of 2021. Completed today, 6 days early, just so I could get ready for going home and getting absolutely bladdered this Christmas. And I cannot wait.
Well played, sir. Well played. I like that. Get it all out of the way. That's the way I'd be as well. Some people, like my wife, would be leave everything till the last minute with regard to these type of things. My daughter would be the same. But I'm the type of lad that used to do his homework the second he got in the door from school, so I could play football for the rest of the evening.
Exactly. That's how my parents did it. So they told me, you know what, get down, get it done, then do whatever you want. And that's what I'm doing. I'm doing some Anfield agenda.
I would be able to enjoy myself knowing I had stuff that had to be still done. It'd be in the back of my mind and it would be just taunting me. So I'd have to do it. I'm a bit of a swat like that. Ben Smith, welcome, mate. New member to the channel. We appreciate it. We love to see that. Well played, Ben. And look, Chris, before we get stuck into talking about the AFCON, before we get talking about the COVID situation, the games, got to do the Manscaped ad read, my man. Got to do it. You know, I'm not going to go dirty on this one, though. It's early in the evening, so we'll just go straight to the point. Ladies and gentlemen, Christmas is coming. We're running out of shipping days, but the good news is you can still get 20% off store-wide and anything at manscaped.com, including the Performance Package 4.0, the lawnmower or the weed whacker, anything that you want, the 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, the body wash, whatever you want. Just use the code WFM20 to get that discount and free shipping, and we very much appreciate your time. Right. What are we saying, Chris? Do you know what, actually? Do you know what we're getting sent out to us while we're waiting for James to jump on? Mystique jerseys are sending us out some of those box jersey things. One for me, one for Connor, of their premium ones, and I'm very excited, mate. I do like the idea of another football shirt arriving to my house and not knowing what it is.
It's pretty cool, isn't it? I did one of those back in lockdown and got absolutely stiffed. I think I got because I didn't realize you could tick like teams you don't want to get. So I think I got like Arsenal away, and I was like, I don't want it. So I gave it to my Arsenal supporting mate for his birthday. But no, 100% cool. If as long as you made sure you're not getting a United shirt, right?
Well, no, look, we were onto the guys on Instagram, and Connor was chatting back and forth with the guy that runs it. It's actually running from Mana here in Ireland, and so he was saying that he was talking to one of the guys that works in his warehouse, and he was a big fan of the channel. So I'd say we'll be looked after. I'd say we'll be all right. Like I think they know not to send us non-Liverpool stuff or Liverpool stuff, but no. I think Connor said the only remit was obviously no Real Madrid, no no Manchester United, but we'll be good. Whatever comes, may comes. I'm looking forward to it because I'm like you. I have a fascination with football shirts. I love them, particularly the older ones, and I love the idea of I love random shirts from teams you've never heard of. So I think this is a brilliant idea for all these mystery shirt companies.
I love it. And I mean, to be honest, from a business perspective, I look at it like that. And I think you could sell a shirt for 35 quid that's worth 15, but you could also, the brilliant thing about buying one is you could get one that's worth 70 or 80 pounds for half the price. It's brilliant. Honestly, I'd highly recommend it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen, what's the name of that shop that does pop-ups everywhere? The classic football shirts. Is that the one? Like, their prices are ridiculous on some of the stuff. I mean, great selection, but let's have a look. Like, let's say, for instance, you were looking for my favorite shirt, which would be the, I think, 87, 88, the Crown Paints Liverpool home shirt. I mean, that's probably going to cost you £600 if you want to find that in a normal size, like.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, my shirt collection ranges. I think the most expensive shirt I've got is like £60, and the rest of them are like under 30. I'm a bargain hunter, mate. Look on Facebook for anything that's a little bit dodgy. And yeah, I don't mind if they're fakes as well. By the way, I wear them. I don't. I'm not a collector. I just wear them, and I don't really. As long as they look all right, then sound.
I've got a few of the fake ones with the fake Adidas stuff on them. Like my favorite ones, like the candy one, the grey one with the flex, and the chessboard green and white one. They're from, I think were they both 96? I think they were both 96 actually. Yeah, what a year for shirts that was. Don't worry, folks. We are waiting for James. We will be on minute, and we will talk about this, by the way, because Norma, I think you're going to be wrong in the long term, but we will discuss it, and we will keep you up to
And
date.
also,
Chris has got
I saw
latest.
I saw a comment from Jim Casino. Do not trust any account that isn't like legit. All right, because you could be losing your money, fella. As a bloke who goes to games regularly, I can tell you there is a lot of touters out there. Please don't waste your money with them.
Okay? For the tickets, oh yeah, be careful, man. Definitely be careful. I mean, yeah, I mean, I know loads of people who've been done. Connor actually got let down as well at one point when he was over in Liverpool for a ticket. Yeah, here's one from my wife actually. At least a surprise jersey is better than a surprise from me to you. You won't have to pretend you like it because you love jerseys. Yes, let's be the wrong jerseys. And I always have the face like someone pissed in my cornflakes. She trusted one of my mates before when we started going out with each other. I think we were 19, and Sabrina trusted one of my mates who told her to get me a long sleeve Celtic shirt. Now, two things about me, Chris: don't give a fuck about Celtic, and I hate long sleeve football shirts. And the guy she asked wasn't a football fan, so she picked the wrong mate to ask.
Oh dear. Poor
so you
form.
strike me as one of them people who'll be able to plaster on a fake smile and say thank you, and do the nice thing. My face doesn't tell lies, mate. If I open something I don't like it, you'll read it all over my face.
You're just there. You're just like, at least. But to be fair, at least it wasn't Rangers.
I think she'd know that. I think even she would know not to do that one. But look, it's for me a Catholic Protestant thing. I just give a shite about Scottish football. So, yeah, no for me on that one. But I do like I love South American shirts. So Boca Juniors, River Plate, those kind of shirts. I mean, that's my dream is to go to the Super Classico, the Boca River Plate game.
On the list, isn't it? Their version, the original version of the Bobby song, the Copa Libertadores, Mi Obsession, unbelievable. It lives rent free in my head. I wish we could do it as slow as they do it and as loud as they do it, but we'll have to deal with our BTEC version, and I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I mean, it is amazing. It is amazing. Right, I want to get stuck in because people are waiting. James is still running a little bit late. So look, let's get started with it. Chris, give us the latest that you have on the AFCON, because as people I'm sure will see and will say, there has been conflicting reports right across social media today, and nobody seems to know what's going on. And it seems to be that the tournament that causes a lot of headaches continues to cause a lot of headaches.
That might be a little bit my fault because I probably wrote those conflicting articles.
I did see your name attached to one in the transfer room. All right, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, this morning, I got a little notification. Thank you so much for the £5, by the way, Strip Bear. Absolute legend.
Oh, man, thank you.
We got a little bit a notification this morning from RMC Sports saying AFCON might be cancelled. We're all in our transfer room writers group going, "Oh my god, this is insane! This is insane! We have to get on this quickly." We did. Pretty much straight away. A couple of well-known African journalists came out and said this is complete and utter lies. But those reports also got rubbished because a well-known African journalist, Hugo Zoff, really, really good, if you want to know, he's from African Insider. He has come out and said, look, AFCON won't get cancelled, whatever happens. The infrastructure is so much in its place. And then he went on to say that the European Club Association wrote a long letter to the UEFA vice president. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, which he said, and this is not my quote, he said might suggest that they tried to go about this backhandedly, that they don't want European-based players to play at AFCON. And at the moment, that's not going to happen, according to Hugo. So, yeah, we might be seeing Mohamed Salah, Naby Keita, and Sadio Mane not go to AFCON, but there's another caveat to it. But not for long, if you guys watched off Horrible Histories. The caveat is that if they don't go to AFCON, if any African players based in Europe don't go to AFCON, they will not be allowed to play for their clubs unless, legally they manage to battle it off. So it's such an interesting situation. So many contrasting reports. We think it's that Hugo Zoff guy who's got it right. There's been nothing come out against him yet. So look, we just have to wait and see with that one.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem that, first and foremost, we still didn't even know when the players were going to be called up or when they were going to go. I mean, there was so many conflicting reports about whether they start the tournament earlier, as Al Ali wanted to start on January the 3rd because of the Club World Cup. Then there was reports about it maybe being cancelled. So whatever happens here, am I right in trying to summarise this with, there's a possibility that the tournament goes ahead, a good possibility the tournament goes ahead, but there could be a situation where European-based African players aren't allowed by their clubs to travel, having maybe been advised by the European Clubs Association not to do so. But at the same time, we could also see a situation where the players, even though they don't travel to the AFCON, will be barred from playing for the clubs because of the constant club versus country route. That about summarising where we are?
Pretty much that is exact bang on, mate. And to be honest, right, I'm going to put this is my own humble opinion. I think the ECA have got it completely wrong. The way that they addressed the vice president, not the president, it's a little bit weird. And then they went on. They painted the impression that they care more about their players than the country do. Sorry, and you can't really do that. Because I don't know, you can't prove or disprove either way. Look, I am fully in favour of AFCON not happening from a Liverpool perspective, from a pure Liverpool selfish perspective. However, it's the biggest thing in African football. And you can't say that these European club associations, who, granted, I've heard about probably twice in the world ever, they can't say that they care more about the players than their countries. So. It's just such a mind fuck, really, with all of it.
Ooh, he turns up on his own time, yeah? Well, the laptop turns up on their own time. But how are we, the fellas?
We're good. We're just talking about the shit show that is not the organising, that's unfair. That is the uncertainty about what's going on with the AFCON. Because, Chris was keeping us up to date. So the European Club Association are saying to clubs that maybe they should not release their players to go to the AFCON because of, obviously, what's going on in the world with the pandemic. But the caveat to that being, James, that if the clubs don't release the players to go to the AFCON, they will also be barred from playing for the clubs during that period.
Whoa! Don't be petty. Don't you dare be petty. Oh, do you know if anyone decides to, just because you can't use the toys doesn't mean we can? Are you taking the piss? Are you mad? That's bullshit. So what's their reasoning? Because, if we go to court, they're not getting past me in this bullshit. I'm no lawyer.
I think it's a legislation passed. I don't know the exact. Good.
Why doesn't the players get to make the decisions?
Enjoy, Carl, by the way.
It's to prevent, do you remember when Sir Alex Ferguson used to, recall players from international duty, or players would appear with fake injuries as apparent for that sort of situation. Yeah. And we saw it with the Brazil boys. In the end, they were able to play with that. And it's the same with the African lads. Look, it's such a really weird one. You have to go deep diving into the legalities of it. But yeah.
But I don't like that though, because you're on it. What have the players done? They can still play. They've got a title race. They've got big ambitions. That'll be huge for your country, by the way. Imagine if Salah goes ahead and becomes the best player in the world by winning the Prem, the Champs, and being the top goal scorer. That's great for your nation. There won't be bellends.
This is an ongoing battle, though. And it's not just restricted between African football and European football clubs. It happened in the Copa America at times as well, and it'll happen numerous times. It's the constant battle. There is a thing written in the UEFA statutes or FIFA statutes that say that the national associations can have the power to do this for the reasons that Chris just put out. It just seems like nobody's communicating properly here. That's what I'm taking from. There needs to be more open channels.
One speaking Chinese, one speaking German, another fella's from friggin' Australia, speaking some Australian variation language. Someone speaking Welsh. You know what I mean? What's is it Gaelic? The Irish language?
Call it Irish, that's what we call it.
Irish. This is mad, this, boys. They need to get the shit together. Do you know what? Football's feeling weird again. I don't know about yous, but it's just feeling dead dodgy. Games are getting cancelled. Watford and Burnley got cancelled.
2.5 hours from kickoff, by the way. Not an ounce of thought for the travelling fans or anything there.
And Burnley to Watford is a long way. Come on.
How long is that? Where's Burnley?
Like, that's even without
Burnley's
thinking about
northwest.
fans who may have travelled from abroad. I mean, I'm sure Burnley have overseas fans. I'm sure Watford have overseas fans. I'm sure they may have travelled to the game.
I don't know about Burnley, Craig.
I don't know. I don't know about Burnley.
James. I'm stretching it, but I'm doing my best.
Match,
Okay, let's go this way. Sean Dyche might have overseas fans. Go with that.
Yes.
That work?
Well, the fellow gingers.
You say fellow like, you're speaking.
No,
I'm speaking on behalf of the Ginger Nation, mate.
No,
there's two in my family with this genetic mutation of a gene. Fair enough.
Hey.
But...
Oh, wait there. No, Watford in London. I'm trying to find out how long it takes to get from Burnley to Watford.
Technically, Watford isn't in. Technically, Watford's just outside of London, James. Just going to put it out there because I know what people
thing,
from
lad. Same thing, lad. I am a Scouser. How do you expect me to know that information? I cannot help you. 3 hours and 45 minutes drive. Madness.
You would have been you'd have been there nearly. You'd have been getting there by the time the game gets called off. Like it's ridiculous. And yet Leicester Spurs couldn't get their game called off. Brendan Rodgers is 9 players or something missing through injury and COVID. Now look, the injuries he can fuck off with, by the way. That's his own tough shit. But the COVID situation, I don't know, lads. This is all starting to feel a little bit mad again, isn't it? It's almost like the geniuses in charge didn't realise that something that is viral will increase in winter when we're traveling in buses with condensation on the window and packed train carriages. It's almost like it's this time of the year where it might get a bit worse. Shock horror. I don't get it.
Or where just people get sick in general.
Like exactly,
you know what I mean.
I'm not going to get into the politics of COVID, man. I can't.
I'm with Chris.
Let's just bring the focus back to Liverpool then. Let's work away. Let's have a chat about the current state of affairs in the Premier League. So as we can see there, Manchester City sitting top of the table, 41 points, Liverpool 37, Chelsea 36, West Ham 28. I mean, guys, I did a watch along of that game against Leeds yesterday for Manchester City. I don't know if you watched it, but it was
I did.
Pathetic from Leeds.
Leeds were terrible.
City were brilliant, fair play to them, absolutely dismantled them, but Bielsa has to be under pressure now.
Oh, it takes a team with big fucking cojones to go out and make sure that, like, against the team that's not turning up, to really go ahead and put them to the sword. Like, when we played Manchester United, we kind of sat off, which a lot of people didn't like, but I understood it, because why keep going full intensity trying to get goals when they're just going to get angrier and angrier? There's more risk of an injury. But City just kept going. You could see everyone wanted to get on the score sheet, but Leeds United, we might just have to start talking about Bielsa just a bit, or a lot. Whatever you prefer, because he's not that good. A manager who gets beat 6 or 7-0 on a consistent basis, it can't be great. Got beat 6-1 by United.
We're going to have to go get Rafinha, mate, just purely from a compassionate basis at this point.
100%. We need to save the poor lad. He's a good footballer. And he's not in a good football team.
I wouldn't go as far as to say Bielsa's not very good, James. I wouldn't go that far.
But give me facts. Don't just say your opinion.
No, right. Yes, I'm probably one of his biggest defenders, but
it took him a while to get out the championship.
He just feels like he's banging his head against the wall.
It took every night
repeating the same thing. He doesn't seem to be able to evolve with this Leeds team for some reason.
100%.
No,
I
want
agree.
Chris to finish his point about there's no manager that comes straight back up. Rafa Benitez did.
Well, no. Well, yeah, but he had 3 seasons with Leeds. Sorry. He had 3 seasons with Leeds. He got them up last season, got into the top half. Like, look at that squad. It's not that good. They got Patrick Bamford up front, mate. Like,
it's still better than some of the teams that are ahead. A lot of people were saying it was good. Carver Phillips was in the England squad over Hendo. You know what I mean? Bamford, like, sick player. Friggin'
I'd take Calvin Phillips right now.
What?
But they've got a few individuals, and the rest is about a team. Bielsa's gone about his ways in his career. He's very nomadic, and he's very well renowned. Yes, I think there needs to be a lot more criticism of him in the media, but I still don't think he's not very good.
Even Norwich aren't getting battered 6 or 7-0. How come that's happening?
Norwich did get beat 7-0 by Chelsea.
Once.
Well, I was proved right.
It's been battered multiple times by 6 or 7 goals.
Yeah. I've been telling everyone that listen, Meslier is overhyped as well.
Massive fault for a couple of the goals, especially the first goal for Foden. And what was Dallas doing on the line, by the way?
Hey, do you know what rate though from their squad?
It's almost like the ball was made of lava and he was trying to get out of the fucking way of it. Like, what?
Do you know what rate from their squad though? That's not Rafinha. That's Joe Gelhardt. He's brilliant. Oh, do you know him? Are you onto him?
I seen him come on yesterday. He came on.
Yeah. So he scored against Chelsea. Yeah, he scored. Didn't the assistant score against Chelsea?
He came from Wigan.
He came from Wigan. I went to sixth form. Well, I was in the same sixth form as he was school, but I was a year above him. So, like, he was at Wigan at the time. He's moved to Leeds, I think, a year ago or just over a year ago. And he's been playing more recently, and he's actually a good player. He plays for the England under-18s or under-21s, one or the other. Either way, someone that we could look at. He's a scouser. So, who knows?
Here we go, James. Just to wind you up.
Am I reading this right?
We do not need Rafinha.
Yeah, that's
that?
What James is saying. Not you, James. Different James.
No, he's right, Jim. Do you know what, lads? If that is your opinion and you feel like we do not need Rafinha in any way, shape or form, sound, my mate. I believe his 5-star skill moves will prove you wrong within 2 weeks, though. I do. I really do, Jim. But fair play, my man. Make sure you smash
in a poor Leeds team, he scored, 7 goals this season?
Lads, Rafinha's just something different. Do you like the way some people said Thiago was going to be shit? But he's not.
Yeah.
Like, Rafinha would have a very similar impact. There'll be games that if Jurgen Klopp, and I trust Jurgen Klopp to get it right, that he can choose him against. And he knows the right ones to choose him against, then he could be a great player. Imagine him against a low block. Sound. Long shot and all that.
Anonymous in that game yesterday. And do you know why? Because Leeds stuck him out on the fucking left. Stuck him way out on the left and not getting involved in the game. And if he was getting involved in the game, he wasn't really going to be getting many shots away. And look, when you start a game against Manchester City in the Premier League with Dan James up front, you know you're in for trouble.
But I'll tell you what, right? Who goes into that Leeds team and makes it better?
Me.
I
don't know how, but I like to think I make everything better. No, genuinely, it's
this tissue.
It is an interesting one. Sometimes I just think it's a case of a manager's words can only have an impact so many times, and maybe sometimes change is needed. Sometimes a shake-up is needed. And look, with Bielsa's contractual situation and the fact that every summer the club have to wonder what if. You know, they can't really forward plan too much, knowing that the manager's contract's a 1-year rolling contract. So look, it's worked for them up until now, but they are in trouble, and I wouldn't have really worried about them to go down near the relegation places, even with the injuries they have. But they need to start scoring quickly.
Really, I thought that they've played quite well up until that game in the last few weeks.
Few weeks, but they're still around the relegation zone, where in comparison to where they was last season, against the results they were getting against bigger teams as well. They were getting good results against big teams last season. They nearly had to go against us on the opening day. There was a few other results. I don't know. I just think it was kind of one of them one-season hypes, and they've just got to really try and grind out this season because this team's now stepping up to the plate, and they're going to need to find some form. So you can blame it on injuries or the manager or not the manager, but at the end of the day, they're in a bit of a shit situation. If I was a Leeds fan, I'm not that happy.
Still only 2 points. Still only 2 points behind Everton, by the way.
Yeah, but Everton are also in the relegation battle.
We can't.
I love the way you say that, like as if they're in the European places.
No. I'm saying
oh my God, the Leeds are doing their boss. It's just like Everton's team is probably worse than Leeds at the moment. So fair play to Rafa. Do you know what? That's one thing I want to talk about. Not Liverpool related, and I don't want to make this a complete Premier League show, but just out of curiosity, do you know Everton? Is it them or is it Rafa or is it both? Because I think it's fully the team and the owner. I don't think it's the manager.
Machinery in the board.
He's got no Richarlison now. He's got no Richarlison now. No Dominic Calvert-Lewin. No, he's had like Decore in and out of times. He's had no Sigurdsson, which, you know, even though nothing's been confirmed or denied, he's still an important player to their team. No, but he is. And I don't think it's
laughing because Chris made a shitty joke a week or two
I made
ago.
a joke on Twitch that shouldn't ever be repeated.
Oh, all right. Is it one of those ones? Can you tell me it after the stream?
It's a yeah, I will do, mate.
I'll tell you now. He's something about like having kids locked up at home, and he said, unlike.
Yeah,
no. I was talking about Manchester United's Champions League opponents that they potentially played. That are called a thing that. Yeah.
Let's just say there's a touch of the Jimmy Saviles going on in this scenario.
Back on track. I'm avoiding this conversation, innit? Just me. You can carry on if you so wish, but I'm just gonna
To get back to it though, James. Rafa came out today and he said that you can't expect him to undo 4 or 5 years of bad work in 5 months at a club. And couple that with what you've said there, the fact that he has no Richarlison at the minute, he has no Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who all the players that they brought in, the few that they did bring in, were clearly put there to get into wide areas and whip balls in for Calvert-Lewin to get on the end off. So I think he's been unlucky, if I'm being honest. But Everton is still shy.
Oh yeah.
I still don't think Rafa's the man to lead them out of where they are, though. If I'm being honest.
If he had like more of his players and a better squad and the way bad investments over the years, do you think he'd be doing better?
Probably, yeah. That team is a mishmash of 5 different managers. Like that's the thing. You've had Marco Silva, Ancelotti. I can't even really remember. So Martinez, all of those lot. You know, there's so many, and I've seen links today with them for Wayne Rooney.
Oh, I was waiting for it. I was waiting for someone to bring it up.
From the
please
mail.
do.
I hope it's only going to Solskjaer. I reckon Wayne Rooney might actually be all right. He's done sound at Derby, Wayne Rooney. Yeah. He's done sound at Derby, you never know.
Oh, come on.
Could be one of them.
What do you mean, honestly, come on? There's nothing about Wayne Rooney that screams intellectual manager. Nothing.
Doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to be intellectual. Imagine him and Duncan Ferguson fucking side by side, noggin heads together, just rubbing them against each other. When
Ferguson
Anthony Gordon scores. What?
Do you ever hear the story about the lads who broke into Ferguson's house and they had to be taken out in an ambulance?
By Sir Alex Ferguson?
No, Duncan Ferguson. Lads broke into his house and tried to rob him.
I thought you said Sir Alex. I was like, is he throwing shots? Yeah, he's like...
kicked 7 shades of shit out of them.
Yeah, fucking.
He's
I'm
a
not
proper
like,
hard man, Mr. Ferguson.
Like, if you, me, or especially Chris comes up and tells the story about you've beat up 4 people at once, you are defo lying, but I believe that when you say it's Duncan Ferguson.
So do I. Every word of it. Yeah. 100%.
Every last breath. Unbelievable. Yeah. But
there are some men on this planet, James, that you just know by looking at to not annoy. And he will be one of them.
He 100%. And if I see him in a dark alleyway, I'll just give him my shoes before he asks. If he wants them.
If he wants them, I love that. The possibility he doesn't want them. You know, he
might not, so I might be fine, do you know what I mean? But no, listen, I don't know where I was even up to with my point, but Everton, Rafa Benitez, or the squad. Like
all of it.
All of it.
I think Mashiri and the board.
I think it's nothing to do with Rafa. Don't think anyone's really getting a tune out of that team.
No, I agree. That's partly why he's like, you probably need Lord Jesus Christ to get Everton out in the top half.
Whoa. Where the fuck did Jesus get a lordship? Hang on a minute here.
Lord Houlden, actually.
Yeah. I mean, he's already God, mate. You know, he's already the son of God. We don't need to be throwing Lord titles at him as well here.
Yeah,
that is true.
Leave something for the rest of us. Do you know what I mean?
Shout out to Jesus, though. Do you know what I mean? Without him, lads, we'd be fucked. We would. Why are you laughing, Chris? See that? That's like an old time thing. Yeah. I realised that I said it like why he's called Chris as well. This is fuck.
Right, look, both of you just go away tonight, say decade of the rosary, and come back to me tomorrow.
Sounds
good.
I never even heard what he said, to be fair. Sorry, Craig, it cut out a little bit in my earphone. What did you say?
Just know it was hilarious, James. That's all you need to know, my man.
No, and I knew it was. That's why I laughed.
Let's have a little talk about the game tomorrow, lads. Newcastle, how are we lining up? Because I don't see any changes other than maybe Canade in for Matip. And let me tell you why before anybody jumps on me. I just think with the turnaround for Thursday, Sunday, Spurs being the more difficult game away, I think he goes with Matip for that game. And I don't know if he thinks he can turn around Matip for 2 games that quick a time. So I'm going to go for Canade alongside Van Dijk.
Oh,
maybe. I can see him throwing a curveball in midfield as well.
Yeah, possibly.
You know where I'm going. You know where I'm going with this.
Do I?
Keep giving us your Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain propaganda again.
Oxlade-Chamberlain starting against.
No, go ahead. Say it with your chest, Chris.
Right. Oxlade-Chamberlain starting against Newcastle, right? Do you know why? Because they are sitting with a deep block. Oxlade-Chamberlain can drive through. He's dynamic. He can put a lovely cross in. I tell you what, sound with me. I don't want him involved against Tottenham. I don't think it'll be his sort of game. Definitely play against Newcastle though.
Yeah.
That's fucking lovely and all, Chris. But we're talking about the back four at the minute.
Yeah,
So
cute story, lads. Cute story. So,
well done,
back to
you managed to
business.
squeeze Anna like one of these. Nobody, Chris.
Right, so Craig, Chris seems to be playing devil's avocado today. Let's get back to the big boys talking about this. The one who gets the meat down them and make sure that we don't split that out with nonsense when it goes out the other end. For fuck's sake, Chris.
Oh, we're talking about the whole team.
Oh, Chris,
Nah.
get your Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain moment. I'm being impatient.
Oh my days. Right, so midfield. I think it's usual.
We're still at the defence.
Okay, defence. Right, Matip. So why is he talking about Oxlade-Chamberlain?
He's just trying to ram him in anyway. He's probably trying to make an argument that he can play a centre-back.
I'm going with Matip and Van Dijk.
False centre-back, he's going to call him now, watch.
I'm going with Matip and Van Dijk. This is a funny stream today, you know. Van Dijk and Matip, I think they'll be the guaranteed starters. I don't know why, but that's just what I feel. I think Matip's been too good. 5-star skill moves. Like,
he's been brilliant. My only argument, James, is that we're playing Spurs away on Sunday. Really short turnaround. Matip, known to not be able to play 3 games in a week. I just wonder if Klopp will rotate in.
Got a point.
Just for this one.
Got a point. Is Gomez fit?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
Give Gomez the game for me. If you're asking me and you want to give Matip a rest, I'd rather give Gomez a go. I don't want to give up on him yet, lad. You'd have to give him chances.
I would just argue that I don't think he's fit enough to start the game yet.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you're suggesting that you've given up on Gomez. I'm sure you haven't, and you want to see him do well. I'm just saying that.
Same with Bobby for me, James. I don't think either of them are ready to start a game just yet.
Maybe. But if he is 100% and only Jurgen Klopp and Joe Gomez knows that, then I'd give him a go.
Fullback scenario, we Robo Trent, yeah, we all agreed on that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Costas. Just for the same reasons that we just talked about the centre back.
Isn't it great we can say that? I wouldn't mind Costas and we'll go, yeah, no, he's sound. I love that we can say that now.
But you know why as well, though, Craig? Because how many times have we had conversations where it's like, Robbo's played too many games and now he's burnt out. Robbo's finally found a little bit of form. Why burn him out? We know he's going to be bombing up and down that wing all game against Newcastle and then the same against Spurs. So I don't understand. Against the low block as well, Shimakasa's creativity could work wonders for us. So do you know what? I'm going to go with Costas.
100%.
No arguments with that whatsoever. I mean, they both do a cracking job, and again, Newcastle are going to spend the majority of this game defending, so maybe Costas could do something. Again, though, Chris, I'm all for Robbo's underlapping runs, so I'm loving that lately. I'm all about the underlap.
The way that he's going in, do you reckon that Oxlade-Chamberlain could do a good job as an inverted left back, or
no?
Oh, what shame. No, definitely Tsimikas. Definitely Tsimikas for me. I agree with James's point. Again, and on the Matip thing as well, those two need to be rested, kept in cotton wool for Tottenham, because I think it'll be a difficult game against Conte's Tottenham. I do think we will batter Newcastle, and I think Tsimikas will at least get 1 or 2 assists. I wouldn't be against putting him on a fantasy team, actually. I might go and do that now. But yeah, Tsimikas.
That story about Samuel Eto'o,
decisions
of Cameroonian football, and maybe trying to bring back the likes of Joe Matip. He's been, he's got 4 years term now, I think, as the president of Cameroonian football, and there's talk that he's trying to lure back some of the lads who've been
Jurgen came and shut that one right down to
Yeah, I saw that today myself with Jurgen Klopp coming out. Like, even Chris is onto it. He just went, fuck that, in his beautiful German accent, because I go to Matip, I'd be like, fucking hell, been fit for 6 months and now you're already chatting going back to the international footy. No, thank you.
Agreed. No arguments for me on that one.
No,
but they are missing out on a world-class centre-back, though, so you can understand the push to try and get him back into the team, because he's huge. He could be a lead.
Do you guys remember why he actually retired?
Because he got mega injuries.
Manager, I think.
Oh, was he? I thought it was because he wanted to manage his normal career. Do you know, like... Because if so, that's stupid from the manager. They benefit more from having Matip than whoever the fella is in charge of them, in my opinion.
I don't think it was just Matip. I think it was a few players who
he also got a call up in August of this year and he rejected it. And a Jurgen Klopp said today, I asked Joel about this and he said, no, I'm not interested. So I don't know where those rumours come from, but that's clearly fake.
Good man, Joel. Shutting it down quick, smart. Moving into midfield, gents. This is your time, Chris. This is where you get to spout your Go on, have your 2 minutes. Go on, Chris. So who plays in midfield, Chris?
For me, we start Fabinho. We start Thiago, and we start Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Chris, all I'm saying, sorry, Craig, all I'm saying, yeah, do you know, if Chris gets this midfield right, he deserves to slap both of us, you know. Do you know, when we go for an Anfield agenda meal, like, we have to let him slap us.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I think again with the
I'll
Henderson
bring the fish.
Yeah. Sound. I think we rest Henderson for the weekend. I think he'll be so key against Tottenham. You know, I play Ox because I think he's more suited to this game. He drives forward. I wouldn't be against Naby if he's fit either. But I'm going to say Ox, Fab, Thiago.
If Oxlade scores, then you can slap me twice with a fish.
Okay, sound.
But he's got to start to score. He can't come off the bench to score.
If he doesn't play, Chris, and he doesn't score, you've got to break that banister.
Mate, I'm not writing to student. I'll send the picture to James afterwards. I've got this really annoying banister that every like placard thing on it is the same apart from one, and it's like slightly below. It's so annoying, but I will break it for if you pay me a reasonable amount. I'll break it.
Mate, if that was me that had been broken the first night I was there, the fact that it just stands out like a sore thumb and doesn't suit the rest of them. Yeah, I mean it's your duty. It's your duty to break it, Chris. Break it.
I really do, but my missus would kill me.
One of the lads on a skateboard with a helmet on, straight into the spindle. Bang, job done.
True. But yeah, I'll oblige if Ox scores a hat trick. I genuinely will break the banister in happiness.
That's like saying if I show up with a rude Hull head of hair tomorrow, mate, we know it's not happening.
True. We all do.
Shall I say my midfield?
There is genuinely an argument for Oxlade-Chamberlain to play tomorrow, in fairness. I mean, I understand where Chris is coming from with the rest in Henderson for the game of the weekend. I just, I mean, it could happen. I think once Fabinho Thiago plays, I'm sound.
I'm trying to think. Curtis is back, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's only just came back.
Yeah, I guess he'll have been running because it was an eye injury. So I guess he'll probably be...
Oh, shit, yeah. So we are then. I play Curtis. It's not like he's got a physical injury. If his eyesight's sweet and he's fully back in training, I play Curtis. Give him a go, man. And then bring on Oxlade. I think Curtis would be suited to this game. He's a direct midfielder. He's just not as he's not as quick at getting to the man, but he is a good player. And I think alongside him, I'd go Henderson and Fabinho and rest Thiago.
Yeah, if you're playing Curtis, you want to be playing him on the left. So
that's why I go with Henderson on the right. Yeah. So that's what I go with. I think that'd be my first choice, just because as well, I'd like to see Curtis being given a go. And I think this is a game where we can afford to do it. They've only won once. Like, it's going to still be difficult, but I can't see Curtis starting being the be-all and end-all in this fixture. Could do something.
So up top then, Mane, Jota, Salah? Because I don't think Bobby starts yet.
Yes.
I think so. And again, you got another shout for Divock Origi.
No problem if it starts. None.
Again, absolutely no problem with that. But I think he might come on in a minute 60. Same if we've wrapped the game up by then, which is what I expect and what I hope. Then you bring on Origi and Minamino for Jota and Salah and just rest them.
Say the shit.
Sunday. Exactly.
And say rest, boys. Rest. I'm happy with that team. I'm happy with that front three. Any shouts for Origi if he's fit?
Yeah. Again, no problem with Divock Origi. None.
Who over?
Would have to be through the centre, I'd say. So I think it would be to wrap Jota up in cotton wool maybe for Spurs. That's the only realistic way I can think about it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I reckon this game's one for Origi to come off the bench, you know.
Yeah,
just feels like it. Well. He scored in this game late before as well, hasn't he?
Yep.
That little flick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bring Origi off the bench, start Jota.
Well, we all agree that we're going to batter Newcastle. We all agreed on that one.
Yes.
Oh, mate, it's going to be... I think it's going to be carnage.
I reckon Firmino's going to come on and score 2 goals.
I like that.
I'm going to put a bet on that.
Nah, I don't bet. But if I did bet, then I'd bet on it.
This isn't a game for the betting community. I've looked into it. I've looked at all the permutations. This isn't a game to bet on.
Yeah,
no
I'm sure
value
it's
to be had.
probably very obvious, yeah.
Like
Unless
when
Newcastle win.
1 to 11 to beat them, and you're looking at Mohamed Salah's odds to score being ridiculous. Like, I'll give you an example. Great value when we played against AC Milan away. Mohamed Salah at 11 to 8 to score. That's ridiculous for him. That's unheard of. I couldn't get money on it quick enough. But this, I think it was 4 to 9 or 1 to 2 for this game, which there's no value
Jesus
there.
Christ. I am very tempted. Do you guys think I triple captain Mo Salah this week on FPL?
Do it every week.
You only get one throughout the whole season.
It's a good show, Chris. It's a good show. It's knowing when to just unleash him. I've been saving mine up as well. I tell you what though, Chris, I would say no, and I'd wait for a double match week.
Yeah, that's what I think. And someone just said my Jurgen Klopp cutout moved.
Ooh, very interesting.
I think he was just winking at you, Chris. I think that's what was going on.
He's loving it. He's loving my new specs, mate. I reckon.
He's having a good time.
Look at him. Prof. That's what we're going to call you now, Prof.
Professor Stonadge with his verified tick.
It's the time for the dream midfield, gents. So we've absolutely just glossed over Naby being back training.
Ooh, shit. I didn't know he was back. Yeah, man. I'm up for a little bit of Naby Keita, but he just always gets injured. I bring him off the bench. Because he's had a physical injury opposed to like a Curtis Jones who's had an eye injury. In fact, you know what? If we're thinking about rotating, everything does make sense to go with Oxlade, Craig.
Look at this. I think I've never.
If you're thinking about making a change, if you want to adopt the idea that we had at left back and put it into midfield, or the idea that we had at centre back and moved into midfield,
Right, James, let me put this to you in. You know the way people describe things in football terms at times. Yes. I'm going to describe this to you in marriage terms. So,
okay.
I look at Chris much like I look at Sabrina, not in a sexual way.
Whoa.
No, let me finish. You have to allow little wins every so often, but not the big stuff. So you let them have the stuff you don't give a shit about, but they think you do. You let them have that win. But marriage is a fucking war. It's a war, mate. So you've got to let them have little wins. So let's let Chris have his little win today.
Okay.
Little win.
Well done, Chris.
I fight for. I'll win the battle. I'll win the war. I'll win the Oxlade Chamber.
When we get our own back, is when we're into the knockout parts of the Champions League, the big games that matter, and he starts trying this nonsense, and then we put our foot down. Then we say no.
Mate, I reckon Ox could do a job.
Hey, I'm so intrigued to know what was up with Curtis Jones and eye injury, and someone's just said in the comments he's in light training.
Yeah, it is weird, isn't it? Because the club haven't really made any comment on it. They never do, of course. No. They never make any comments about anything.
And it's been like a month. It's not been like
a pair of Edgar Davids glasses on him and send them on there. It'd be grand.
Oh, that'd be sick. That'd be sick. Oh.
Didn't he wear a mask once? He wore a mask as well. Was it him that wore the mask?
Who, Curtis?
Yeah, I swear he wore a mask once.
I remember a cheekbone incident or something.
Yeah.
Somebody had one. Oh, no, was it Matip?
Oh, it might have been.
No, you're right. Somebody had a mask, a cheekbone break or something. I think it might have been Matip.
Yeah, might have been. But yeah, it's probably
fucking hell, Joe.
The Messiah. Oh,
Hammers is disappeared. I'm just a very naughty boy.
You're the Lord, Craig.
Please tell me you get that reference, Chris.
No, I don't. I just chuckle for the sake of it, mate. I don't.
From the Life of Brian.
Never seen it. Heard of it. Never seen it. Heard of it. Never seen it.
Brian. Mate, what?
You old bastard.
What?
Craig, you old bastard.
Was that the look you were given then? Like, I'm getting old.
I just wanted to rub it in. A couple of little things. First of all, I want to plug the Twitch channel, which I will be live on for a watch along of the Arsenal West Ham game. We have 1,500 followers on Twitch now, which is happy days. Hey. And we're on track to be Twitch partnered in our first month number 1, and we're already hitting the targets to be partnered.
Brilliant. That's great news. If you can't smash a like absolutely. For that, then I don't know what you can smash a like for.
Get over there. Half
there.
Past 7. No, 7:45. I'm going to be doing a watch along of the Arsenal West Ham game on Twitch. So make sure you guys follow across. Right, gents. Any transfer business, any transfer activity, Chris, for us that we need to get
João
stuck
Felix.
into?
João Felix is one that we can talk about.
Hello.
So Diario yesterday came out and said that Liverpool are potentially interested in João Felix. Diego Simeone would let him go because obviously he doesn't fit their system whatsoever. Up you, Noel. And so yeah, but we don't know the price, and it would likely be upwards of £70 million.
That's still a bargain compared to what they paid. What was it, 145 million euro or something like that?
Yeah, it was 120 odd million quid. So it would be. I think he fits our system perfectly, but there's a lot of stuff to iron out there with him, and I'm not sure whether it's worth the money, to be honest.
I just want to answer this real quick. Money. Sorry,
And
Chris.
it's a good
Back to you.
platform as well. It's a good platform, do you know what I mean? It's something different, and it's actually what we do on a daily basis. It just gives you more of that.
Let me just,
Yeah.
I can tell you the actual answer. So for me, I'm looking at the landscape right now and I'm seeing Goldbridge has YouTube wrapped up. Do you know what I mean? Goldbridge is top of the pile. So you've got the kickoff on Twitch. They're the big boys on there, you know, big show. You've got Fabrizio on there, but I think there's scope for me to slip in there early doors, establish Anfield Agenda early days. And when it explodes and the platform becomes bigger, we will have been an early adopter and we'll have been out there from the start. That's my plan.
Jeff Bezos owns it as well. So
yeah, Amazon do own it, which is why you get the Amazon Prime sub. If you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you get one free sub to Twitch. So yes, absolutely. Look, that's it. That's the plan. This is another thing, Chris, by the way, from Life of Brian. Biggest stickers. You got to watch that film, mate. 2 films for me for you to watch: Life of Brian and Blazing Saddles.
Mate, I just won't watch him. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, that's not a good
Blazing Saddles is comedic gold. It is the epitome of a film that would not be allowed to be made today.
I can't sit down. I can't sit down for like 2 hours and then watch anything. I'm like
on while you're falling asleep.
Huh?
Whack it on while you're falling asleep.
I have to have complete silence when I'm sleeping.
I'm the opposite. I have to have a TV on. I can't sleep.
I've got to have noise.
Even when myself and Connor go away and we share a hotel room or whatever, God bless him because he has to listen to a TV because I can't sleep without one.
Heavy.
I will do my utmost to watch one of those films over Christmas.
Blazing Saddles. Blazing Saddles is the one. If you're watching one, and then you will come back to me and go, how the fuck was that film allowed to be made? Because there is no way, mate, that film gets made today. Trust me.
Bad motherfucker film, you know, Chris.
Is Colin Farrell?
I'll give you one taste of it. There's one scene in it where a guy called Mongo punches a horse and knocks it out.
How mad's that, Chris? How mad's that?
That's pretty mental.
Crazy.
The last film I watched was Shrek 2.
It's a bit different. It's a little bit different.
That's my.
It's well better. It's well better, you know, Chris.
Better than Shrek 2. I'd say Shrek 2's up there.
I mean, Shrek 3, I won't lie. But back to João Felix, where do we think he may end up? I mean, it hasn't worked out there at Atletico Madrid. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Because he suits Liverpool. He really suits Liverpool and everything Liverpool. I think he's one of
United signing to me though, Chris. You know
what it does. I was just about to say. Great minds think alike, Craig. So I was just about to say, I think United might have a chance and snoop around him. And I think he would maybe suit a new pressing system under Rangnick. Definitely more than whatever. Well, than the Simeone system for sure. So yeah, João Felix. I love him at Liverpool, but I cannot see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say no either, to be fair. I mean, he's a good footballer. He's a very talented. It was a strange move. What did you make of that, James, when he went from Benfica to Atleti? Because I thought it was an odd choice for the style of football.
I never rated the move in terms of the team that suited him. I didn't think it suited him one single bit. But if you're going to go to a team where the ball's going to be put at your feet, then maybe you can get some good results. And I think at Liverpool, he'd be fantastic because he has got pace. He's direct. He's great on the ball. I think he's better than Mbappe on the ball. Easy, like technical ability wise. I really, really do believe that. I think out of all the youngsters, he's someone that we should be talking about as number one. But due to circumstances, it's not the case. So at Liverpool, I think that would be potential realised and he would only get better and better. So the Premier League would be a sound move, but he needs to choose the right team. Like Chelsea, I don't think that would suit him all that much. I think us
City
or
would.
City,
City
well,
would.
City would suit most people, but 100% of it suit Felix as well. Us City, I don't see him fitting in at Man United just because I don't know how much they improve in the near future. So yeah, we'll see. But I like João Felix, and if I could have it, I don't think it will happen. But if I could have him, then I would.
Yeah, imagine João Felix learning from Thiago, Diogo Jota. Just be amazing. It would be amazing.
Yeah.
One thing actually I didn't mention, gents, and I want to talk about is the situation with Michael Edwards. So I'm sure you guys have seen the links to Michael Edwards and Real Madrid over the past couple of days. And usually, Chris, I'd bat these things away, but I could see the appeal. Brand new, shiny version of the Bernabeu. Beautiful city to live in. The only problem is the man that would be above him, the man that he would be answering to, Florentino Perez.
I just think, I'm not sure it fits. I really don't. I think Michael Edwards has worked on a way of negotiating low fees for players because of a necessity rather than a fact of just trying to save a team money. Real Madrid can go and spend as much money as they want, in my humble opinion. They're the biggest club in the world, probably can make the most revenue in the world, barring Man United. I don't think it suits him really. A bit like how I don't think Rangnick suits Man United, because I think he's great for a certain project, but when given complete and utter free reign, I just don't see. I think it's square pegs and round holes, mate. To be honest.
Interesting. For you, James, what are we saying? Michael Edwards.
I've been saying for months that I think Real Madrid's somewhere that he's looking at, and people are saying it's not a good fit. He's going to get given money. He's going to be able to buy the best players in the world, and he's got to do that for a certain price so Real Madrid don't get themselves in a situation like certain big teams have, like Juventus, Barcelona. There's a way and a structure that you've got to do it, and regardless what you want to say about Madrid, they're still the best team in Spain, but they never won the league last season. They're not clear and head and shoulders where they once was, so they need to get back there. They need to get a Galactico team back together somewhere where there's a star in every fucking position. If you give someone the combination of being able to spend with that brain, I'm sorry, I don't know how you can how it doesn't work. I really don't understand it. If this was a Levy at Spurs, it'd probably, in a way, find a way to work because, again, he's good at buying little players. But this is just going to be so much easier. He's going to be able to buy big stars, and I think that only benefits everyone. Real Madrid, Edwards, because it's something new, and the whole of Real Madrid, basically.
Interesting. I mean, looking at the Champions League draw as well, gents, I know we briefly touched it in the last show that we did, but we've had time to settle down. We know there's 3 weeks between the ties. Off over to Giuseppe Meazza / San Siro for the first one, and then the second one back at Anfield. Again, I just want to look down the draw a little bit to the PSG Real Madrid game. What are we thinking? Who's going? It has to be surely PSG that are knocked out. Am I the only one?
It's going to be closer than what people think. It's going to be closer. I think if I had to put my money on it, I'd go Real Madrid. But people are talking about it like it's going to be a thrashing or it's going to be comfortable for Real Madrid. I don't see that. I definitely don't see that. Don't be surprised to see PSG put up a good fight, because regardless what people want to believe, even though it hasn't turned up to the point so far, like, they never beat Man City, but they've done great in the league. They won all the other games they needed to in the Champions League. And I think Man City are much better than Real Madrid. So I don't see how, they've got Benzema, they've got Vinicius Jr., but Lionel Messi in the Champions League, boys. Do you know what I mean? Mbappe. Still serious players that can cause you an issue. So, and Mbappe's had a great season, and Messi against Real Madrid, come on, like, he's going to turn up on that occasion. I give them a good chance, is what I'm saying. I'm more 51-49, very close.
I'm happy that one of them's getting knocked out.
Same. That's one thing we need to look at as Liverpool fans, though, is that, like, thank fuck that we're losing one of the big teams. If we get through Inter Milan, which we should, then that'll be another decentish team that you don't have to worry about. So, is there any other big games, like big teams versus big teams? Madrid and United.
I think Liverpool v Inter's arguably is. Inter Milan are champions of Italy. Yes, they're not as good this season, but they're still top of Serie A right now.
We've got to go through, though. Is what I mean. I mean, like, out of all the other games.
I mean, I like the Benfica Ajax game, but I think Ajax will have too much for them.
I wouldn't worry about any of those teams, though. I don't look at that as a big game. It's a European big game, but, like, I don't worry about them.
City Sporting, that'll be straightforward. Chelsea Lille has the potential if Chelsea have a wobble.
Don't worry. I hope Lille better fucking smash them, actually, because if we don't have to worry about Chelsea in the semis or the final, can we get them in the quarters? We can, can't we?
Yeah.
So or in the quarters, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, I always get. That's when I get the most nervous in the Champions League, lads, is when we play an English team. No matter who the English team is, I just don't like losing and having no bragging rights in these.
I wouldn't mind playing against Man United.
I think we batter United,
but not in a final.
We batter
United.
Oh yeah,
I'd have them in a final. I'd have them in a final.
No
Out of all the English teams.
No, none of them. I don't want any of them in the final.
Craig, I don't like this from you. The lack of confidence. It's actually a joke. It's steaming through my screen. Well, why are you fuming?
Just don't want it. Can you imagine?
Craig, you started to sound like me.
The fact that you're even seeping the doubt into your brain that we could lose that fixture is absolutely mind-boggling to me.
Craig, you're sounding like me before the Merseyside derby, mate.
No, I just don't want the possibility. I don't want any chance of it happening. I don't want it. I don't want it. I mean, can you imagine, James, if we lost the Champions League final to Manchester City?
But it wouldn't happen. Oh, Man City. I thought you meant Man United.
Any of the English teams. We're beating United, of course we are, but
so there we go.
I just don't want any English team in the final. I hate them.
I don't want Chelsea or City because they're actually really good and hard to beat. United aren't a good team. Like, I'd rather play Man United than Real Madrid or fucking PSG or whoever else. Like, I can't just exclude them because they're an English team. They're still shit.
The dream finals, Bayern. That's the one. That's the one for me. That's the one.
Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and PSG, and obviously the English teams are the ones that I'd ideally not like to face.
I'd take Sporting Lisbon over Bayern Munich every day. Thanks.
You're joking.
In the final, Chris. Come on, let's be fair.
Look. Things happen. If
they beat City, you never know. They could do a little.
The way that Ajax are going, right? They've only conceded 4 goals in the Eredivisie this season. Yes, it's the Eredivisie. They also won 6 out of 6 in their group. They're a good side. A lot of people are discounting Ajax.
Did Ajax win all 6?
Yeah, all 6, mate.
Fuck off.
Yeah,
fucking hell.
And
just made that 49 goals average.
49 goals in the Eredivisie, 4 conceded. Ridiculous.
Wow.
In that. So
Ajax.
I'm impressed by that no matter what league you're in. I'm impressed by that no matter what league you're in. Look how many goals Spurs have conceded in the Conference League. Like, you can still concede against these bin men teams, do you know what I mean? That's impressive. Real
quickly, gents, before we finish up, the talks about Frankie de Jong potentially leaving Barcelona have increased over the past 48 hours. Again, he could be the one they're willing to sacrifice for a big chunk of cash. And I again put it forth to you, gentlemen, that we should be all over this.
A chunk of cash that we will not spend. Like, lads, we're defo not getting Frankie de Jong, you know, as much as I'd love.
Is this where you treat me like I treat Chris over Oxlade-Chamberlain? Is it? This is what
pretty much. Like, it's just me spitting some facts because I think you know that we're not going to get him anyway, and you're just trying to fill out a few minutes of the show. But de Jong is like not happening. But he'd be amazing.
I'll tell you what, though. This is one thing that I can see FSG doing. Dennis Zakaria, according to this Mönchengladbach site, available.
What a downgrade from de Jong to Zakaria.
I know, but this is because you talk about Chunko, Chunko Cash. Chunko Casho. £6 million Dennis Zakaria is available for in January. Now, that if anything
in the midfield above.
He doesn't, but
there we go.
If people say we need a midfielder, it screams FSG, man. It really, really does.
Not one that just conceded 5 goals. We need a good midfielder. He's not good enough.
Give me Tielemans. He'd be cheaper as well because he's on less time on his contract.
The honourable gentleman's cause. Yuri Tielemans.
I 100% would rather Tielemans or Bellingham, but I'm just telling you the realistic world. I'd rather
Bellingham over anyone, but Tielemans is like whoosh. He's the one that I think can happen as well.
Whoosh, that sounds like a B-Tech Nike ad there from James. Whoosh!
Defo. And then they're going to use it for the next advert now. It's confirmed.
There you go. They're dropping Drake and they're bringing me on board. That's what I heard, the rumours.
Amazing. No, brilliant. So is Drake coming on tour with you then, Craig?
Yeah, he's going to be my bitch.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
He's going to be my hype man. Drake's going to be my hype man. I'm going to bring him.
I wasn't expecting him to say that, you know.
I'm going to bring him to the Etihad, United, and City, and to hold up all their shirts, just so we're guaranteed to win something.
Sounds like Paddy.
Sounds fun.
Right, gents, I got to bring that one to a close because I have got to leg it to Twitch. So if anybody wants to follow straight over to Twitch, I'll be over there in 5 minutes doing a watch along of the Arsenal West Ham game. I see from the chat there, Palace 1-0 up against Southampton. Wilfred Zaha with the goal. There we go.
Okay.
We love that. Right, gents, I'm going to leg it. Really appreciate your time. Again, shout out to Manscaped, 20% off and free shipping with the code WFM20. James, I believe we're seeing you tomorrow night after the game?
Tomorrow, because I'm not going to be able to go because I'm still not 100% well. So I'll be able to make the show.
He's not 100% well, but that doesn't stop us from dragging his ass onto a show. We don't care. No fucks given here.
I am a beast. I even woke up like 10 minutes before this, so yeah, I'm a warrior.
Gents, I will see you guys soon.